One of the subjects I failed in year 12 was A-level maths. I got a U, which is why in today's video I want to share with you my process on how I took notes and revised for A-level maths, and when I repeated year 12, I got an A. Hopefully this video will inspire you to do well in maths and give you a better perspective on how much work you've got to do to get those high grades. Also, hello, welcome to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Aldrich and I'm a university student. Before I actually move on to the process, I want to tell you what I did the first time I did year 12 and just to give you some context of my situation. So back then I would go into lessons, all my lessons, with square paper and a black pen. As the lessons progressed, I'd be one of those people who would be like vigorously writing every single detail that the teacher was saying in class, and at the time I thought that that was the best way to revise so I can remember what I did in the lesson. This was one of the first biggest mistakes I've made in year 12, and in order to not repeat the same mistakes, I decided to do something different. The way my timetable worked in sixth form was that I'd have 5 hours of maths in one day, and then another day geography, another day ICT, leaving me with 2 free days where I can catch up and do some work. I mean, that's probably one of the most stupid ways of timetabling, but that was where I was at in school. I knew that personally I did not have the capacity, right, to be engaged for 5 hours of maths. Like, fam, no, I can't. And it's because of the way my timetables were sorted out, it kind of forced me to develop a new revision strategy, and that's what I'm going to share with you today. Firstly, I replaced the word revise with practice, because learning maths is like learning any other skill. The more time you spend learning that skill, the better you'll be at it. The aim of practicing maths, i.e. revising maths, is to get yourself to the standard where you can answer exam-style questions, right? But how exactly did I do that? This is what I did. So I'd go to lessons as usual, like I did last year, with square paper and a black pen. So rather than write every single detail that the teacher was saying on top of the slides, right, I started writing down all the questions that I had in my mind for each slide. For example, if we were doing vectors, yeah, I'd write down questions like, what is the scalar product or the dot product? How do I find a vector that is perpendicular to 2 other vectors? What is the vector equation of a line? How do I use the vector equation of the line? How on earth do I find a vector that is perpendicular to 2 other vectors? How do I find an angle between 2 vector lines? What are parallel lines? What are intersection and skew lines? How do I find the shortest point to a line and the shortest distance from the origin? Obviously, every lesson that I attended, I tried my best to understand what the teacher was saying. I tried to do all the textbook questions that I could with my mates, but ultimately I wasn't so fussed to understand every single detail like I was trying to do in the previous year. As long as I knew what I didn't know, then I'll be in a good position to revise in my own time. So that way I'm like, oh, I don't know this. Let me Google that question. And after failing the year, I made it a promise and a rule to myself that I would spend at least 1 hour a day doing extra maths, doing more revision. Some of you might be thinking, oh, why didn't you ask your teacher? Well, I was shy. It is what it is. So after finding a place to work in the common room, I would open up my notes and look at the questions that I had and simply go on YouTube, type down the question, or go on Google to find the answers. Every single question, and I mean every single question that I had in maths, and I typed it on YouTube or Google, a man called Exam Solutions would come up time and time and time again. And I watched his videos and he explained maths in such a simple way, and it's just as advertised in his website. He made maths simple. Remember the question that I had in lesson? What is the dot product? Boom! There's a video on the dot product. Remember my question on what is an intersection and skew line? Boom! Video on intersection and skew lines. Remember the question, or what is the vector equation of a line and how do you use it? Guess what? Once I realized that Exam Solutions was literally reading my mind, I made it a routine. Attend the 5-hour lessons in school. Make sure you listen and absorb what you can and do the textbook questions and stuff. and have a list of questions by the end of the 5 hours. Then after school, during my spare time, I would go on Exam Solutions and then look at the questions that I had and then watch his videos on him solving my questions. Imagine that I did this throughout the whole year and I ended up having this thick boy folder, yeah. I wish I could show you it in real life. It was really big, but it was so well organized with clear summaries, how-tos, and answers to all my questions. This became such a powerful revision tool for me, and I can remember, like, for once in my life, I felt like I was in control of what I was learning. As I continued doing this routine, my understanding of maths grew exponentially. Because of my newly gained confidence and ability in maths, I started to build like a little bit of curiosity. I started to ask myself, can I answer exam style questions? I wanted to find out, could I actually do it? So I went on Physics and Maths Tutor, printed off the questions by topic papers, and I gave it a go. And to illustrate one of my light bulb moments, I want to do this example with you on how I answered the January 2013 paper on vectors. I remember reading this question and things just made sense to me. This is when I had one of those light bulb moments, This is the magical part. I realized that the question was asking me to pull knowledge from things I already knew and to use the concepts and methods I learned from the lessons and from the videos I watched from Exam Solutions. Remember when I asked the question, what are intersection and skew lines on my notes? Look here, look at the question. The question is asking me to find the point of intersection. This exam question was similar to the question I already had in the lesson and a question I'd already watched on Exam Solutions and understood and solved. And so I was like, sound, let's use these concepts, let's use the methods that I learned from that video and from the lessons, and hold and behold, I got 4 marks on the question. Now at this point you're probably thinking, what, 4 marks in a question, so what? But you know what? I got a U in maths, So if you asked me that I'd get 4 marks in an exam question, you'd be having a laugh, mate. And so I started to repeat this same process, read the question, draw out knowledge from what I knew from watching Exam Solutions and the notes that I made in lessons, and I did that for each vectors question, and ultimately I did that for every single topic in maths. I started to realize something really cool, right? I realized that the questions that I was asking and the videos that I was watching in Exam Solutions was like me putting dots on the page, and by doing maths and by doing the homework and by doing the exam questions, I was given the opportunity to find ways to connect those dots and to connect the relevant ones so I can answer that exam question. And I realized that the more dots I had in this page, the more opportunity that I had to connect each dot, and somehow, if I can find the shortest route, for lack of a better word, to the solution. And boy, am I telling you, my self-awareness became mad. Like, I would be able to answer any question, and whatever how the question was worded or how complicated the question looked, I'd be able to answer it because I'd have so many dots printed on my mind. So in summary, the process of me asking questions, going on Exam Solutions and making notes and to writing the solutions to my questions gave me the awareness of the subject. And by doing the homework and by doing the exam questions, and learning from my mistakes, this gave me the opportunity and practice that I needed to connect the dots. And I'm telling you, I imagine I did that for the entire year, for the year I repeated, and then when I moved into year 13, and I averaged 86 UMS points by the end of year 13. Guess what? That is an A. I started serious revision in October, and I'm glad I did. And it shows that even if you got a U and you start early and you use all the time you have, before the summer exams, you behind this camera, I'm talking to you, If you want to get an A in maths, you can do it. You can do it. To summarize this video and to put things in a nutshell, I've got two things for you. The first one is that there is always a process of somebody getting an A grade. But my process of getting an A will be different to your process of getting an A. I had to adapt, and that's how I adapted. I managed to squeeze and milk as much value from the lessons to then use my independent study time to research, make notes, and do past paper questions. That's my process. For some people, making notes, right, or taking the time to make pretty notes and to use different colors the way I did, some people think that's pointless, and that's okay, because hey, it worked for me. It may not work for you, but you do you know what I mean? So I want this video to inspire you to find your process, to find a way for you to just understand maths. And for me, the way I did it, and it could inspire your process, it's the act of asking questions. That was pretty much what I did throughout the whole year, 7 hours extra during the week. And as a final message, if you're one of those people who are really wanting to get an A in year 12 or in year 13, is that one of the biggest lessons I've learned from repeating the year, sitting in class with the lower years and having my ego trampled, and just I had to put my ego and pride on the floor, is that everything starts with your curiosity. It starts with you thinking, can I understand this? What is it that I don't understand? Or can I answer exam style questions? Do I have what it takes to get an A? Can I develop good study habits, and can I develop a strategy to do well in maths? Am I able to get the grades I need to go to university? It all starts with that kind of curiosity, and then you just naturally find the answers from there. By the way, COVID-19 cases are increasing in the UK, so I hope you and your family are healthy and safe and away from the virus. I hope you guys are wearing face masks, washing your hands. Yeah, and I also want to thank you for 154 subscribers the last time I checked. I'm grateful for what I've got, and since this is just a small channel, some of you guys have been DMing me, some of you guys have been commenting on my videos, which I really do appreciate, and I will be there. Like, I will help you, I will make time for you during my day. Just keep in mind that I am in uni. If you have any more questions, feel free to comment below, and if you've seen some of my comment sections in previous videos, I do take the time to respond to your comments and answer all your questions. And if you do feel like you have something more personal, feel free to DM me on Instagram. Obviously, don't be creepy about it, just be cool, right? Thank you for watching. Safe.